We're going to continue solving rational equations. Remember, when we have two terms, what we're going to be doing is we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to multiply the x minus 2 by the 2x minus 3. Then we're going to multiply the x plus 1 times the x plus 6. Because they're binomials, we're going to FOIL. We're going to multiply our first terms, 2x squared, our outside terms, negative 3x, our inside terms, negative 4x, and our last terms. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to multiply our first terms. We're going to multiply our outside terms, our inside terms, and our last terms. We're going to combine our like terms, 2x squared minus 7x plus 6, and we get x squared plus 7x plus 6. We notice right away we could cancel our 6's. Because we have an x squared, what we want is everything on one side. So I'm going to subtract the x squared and the 7x. We set it equal to 0 whenever we solve for quadratics. And we're left with x squared minus 14x. We're going to use a GCF, greatest common factor. And we see that our greatest common factor is x, and then we have x minus 14. So our two answers, 0 and 14. Notice we're looking at our excluded values, negative 1 and 2. Both of these work, so that would be our answer. Now with letter E, what I notice is that they have a 2 in common, so that would be an x plus 3. So what I have is a 2, but I also have a 6, and 6 is larger, and 2 goes into 6. I have an x plus 3. I have an x plus 4. So that means that my common denominator is going to be 6, x plus 3, and x plus 4. 6, x plus 3, x plus 4. And 6, x plus 3, and x plus 4. So I'm going to cancel. I see that the x plus 3's cancel. I know 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 5 gives me 15. And I have the x plus 4. The 6 cancels. So I have an x plus 3 and an x plus 4. And then the x plus 4's cancel. 2 times 6 is 12. And I have an x plus 3. I'm going to distribute the 15 to each of the terms. I'm going to FOIL, and I get x squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 12. Now, what makes this tricky when I'm foiling it is because of the negative out in front of it, I'm going to have to distribute the negative to each of the terms. So I have 15x plus 60 minus x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 12x plus 36. Now, when I'm looking at this, I'm going to simplify it. I have a negative x squared. 15x and 7x gives me... I forgot to distribute the negative. (15x) and negative 7x gives me 8x. And then I have 60 minus 12, which gives me 48. Now what I need is the x squared. to be by itself. The problem is I have a negative x squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the x squared on the other side. So that way it's positive and it makes it easier to factor. I'm going to subtract the 8x and subtract the 48. So now when I do that, I set it equal to 0. I have x squared plus 4x minus 12. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply together, give me negative 12, add up to 4. That would be 6 and negative 2. So that gives me x plus 6 and x minus 2. So my two answers are negative 6 and 2. I'm looking at, this is negative 3 for an excluded value. This is negative 4. Both of those work because they're neither. And so that would be my answer. Now the last one. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply together, give me 21, add up to negative 10. That would be negative 3 and negative 7. So if I look at my denominator, x minus 7 and x minus 3. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to multiply by the common denominator, and that would be x minus 3, x minus 7, x minus 3, and x minus 7. So when I do that, the x minus 3's cancel, the x minus 7's cancel. So I'm left with an x squared minus 29. The x minus 7's cancel, so I'm left with a 6 and an x minus 3. And the x minus 3's cancel, so I'm left with a 5 and then an x minus 7. X squared minus 29 equals 6x minus 18 plus 5x minus 35. I'm going to simplify. X squared minus 29 equals 11x minus negative 18, negative 35, which gives me negative 53. What I want to do is get all the terms on one side because this is a quadratic. I have an x squared. So I'm going to add the 53 and subtract the 11x. That gives me x squared minus 11x plus 24. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply together, give me 24, add up to negative 11. That would be negative 3 and negative 8. So I have x minus 3 and x minus 8. So I have x equals 3 and 8. But if we look at our excluded values would be 7 and 3. Excluded values, if you remember, x cannot equal those. So it can't equal 3. So my only answer is 8.